Trump's trade war and a plausible explanation for last Wednesday's air disaster in D.C. I'm Derek Gilbert with a quick update from Skywatch TV today for Monday, February 3rd, 2025. We're in studio today all day recording new programs for Skywatch TV, so that leaves me without time to prepare a full 5 in 10 report. So just a very quick series of notes on headlines today. First of all, President Trump's tariffs on goods from China, Canada, and Mexico went into effect over the weekend. 25% on goods from Mexico and Canada, 10% on Canadian energy products, and 10% coming from Canada. This prompted by the flood of fentanyl killing Americans. Canada has already said it's going to respond and issuing tariffs on American goods. The bottom line is the United States buys a lot more from Canada, Mexico, and China than they buy from the United States. So even if this turns into a full-blown trade war, the United States will likely come out ahead. Now, will consumers pay more? Probably yes, but it will also encourage American investors to look at opportunities to manufacture products that we have been importing here domestically, which means investment in American manufacturing, American workers, more people making more money, better for the American economy and the health of our society as a whole. President Trump likely to win this trade war. It is funny, however, that the media, in reporting on this, being, left-leaning, discovered that American consumers ultimately pay taxes that are levied against manufacturers and so forth. For example, when MSNBC ran a story on the tariffs coming on goods from China, means we're all going to pay more for our shirts. Yeah, okay. But the same is true when we were, wanting to soak the rich, when Democrats over the last 12 years been saying, look, we need to make the rich pay their fair share. All right, slap taxes on the oil companies. Rather than letting that affect their profit margins, they're just going to increase the cost that ultimately makes its way to the pump, and we wind up paying the taxes. So it's true now, but it was also true then. It's just the media is only noticing now because it's President Trump and his tariffs that will likely result in some higher prices, but long-term, better for the American economy. In an interesting interview over the weekend, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says his country's only received about $75 billion out of the $177 billion in foreign aid promised by the United States. So if we shipped off $177 billion and only $75 billion made it to Ukraine, where'd that other $100 billion go? Inquiring minds would like to know. The air disaster in Washington, D.C., you know by now that 67 souls were lost last Wednesday night in a tragic collision between an American Eagle regional jet flight, a Bombardier CRJ-700, American Airlines Flight 5342 from Wichita, flying into Ronald Reagan National Airport, collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter at about 8:45 p.m. local time. This was most probably an accident caused by human error. Pilots, friends of ours who are pilots, retired pilots, sent us links to several videos that were recorded by pilots where they analyzed the air traffic control communications with the pilot of the American Airlines jet and the U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. And the bottom line is this: it appears that although the pilots in the crew of the Black Hawk told air traffic control at Reagan National twice on the airliner's final approach, the helicopter told air traffic control twice that they had the plane in sight and requested visual separation. In other words, they said, we will take responsibility for staying out of the airplane's way. And air traffic control said, okay, but then at the last minute said, do you see the plane? Request that you pass behind the plane. And then a few seconds later, sadly, the tragic crash. So many theories out there on social media, but hearing from people who've actually been in the cockpit of either a passenger jet or a helicopter, it appears that the most plausible explanation for what happened last Wednesday night is human error. Tragic, and we pray for the friends and the families of those who were lost in that accident. This week on Skywatch TV, Rick Renner rejoined us for another week to discuss his book, World Before the Flood, and how Jesus connected the world before the flood to the timing of his return. You can get a copy of that book through a special offer available from Skywatch TV. We'll tell you about that right now.
You can support the ministry of Skywatch TV and our continued efforts to share the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the four corners of the world and receive your very own copy of this incredible masterpiece when you order the World Before the Flood special offer. Not only does this incredible opportunity include Rick Renner's new book, Fallen Angels, Giants, Monsters, and the World Before the Flood, how the events of Noah's Ark and the flood are relevant to the end of the age, but it also includes the best-selling book, Giants, Gods, and Dragons, Exposing the Fallen Realm and the Plot to Ignite the Final War of the Ages by Derek and Sharon Gilbert with companion DVD. This incredible book and DVD set reveals the actual identities of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, the identity of Nimrod, and the true location of Babel. Why the wild beasts that accompany the deadly rider on the pale horse might actually be disease-causing viruses, and so much more. Sold separately, these items hold a retail value of nearly $100. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can support the ministry of Skywatch TV and help us continue spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ right now by scanning the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the World Before the Flood special offer right now.